As the Adelaide Fringe heads for another record-breaking year, one of the event's main operators believes future growth lies beyond state borders. The entertainment hubs of the Fringe are locked in battle for customers, with competition set to increase as new players join the fight for a share of Mad March dollars. Matthew Smith reports.
The Garden of Unearthly Delights has been dazzling Adelaide for 16 years. The Garden was the first of the independent entertainment hubs and started with just 2 tents. It's morphed into a business that costs millions to stage every year and sees 35,000 people turn up every Friday and Saturday night. But as with its performers, it's a high-risk game.
If you looked at it purely from a business perspective, you wouldn't do it because it's so risky.
Across the road, Daniel Michael is moving swiftly to deal with an air conditioning issue at the rival venue, Gluttony.
If we don't do that, it's going to be like a furnace in there, like it was last night when I was watching a show and I was sweating like a pig and I wanted to leave because it was awful.
The weather is an uncontrollable variable for promoters, which can kill the bottom line.
People might come into the park and they might just see a show and leave if it's raining. If it's sunny, they might have 5 drinks. So there's a real element of chance.
The Fringe has become a battle of the hubs, with the main players being the Garden, Gluttony and the Royal Croquet Club.
I think it's highly competitive, but I think that's great because it means that there can't be one juggernaut. It doesn't mean that it can't be a monopoly.
We are competing for a lot of the same talent, particularly the big hubs.
With such big dollars on the line, more players want a piece of the pie. The National Wine Centre is making its debut with around 50 shows and a pop-up bar.
We're very happy how things are going along at the moment. If they continue this way, I can't see why we wouldn't opt in to do it again.
If they market well and they program well, they can actually do really well. Again, the Wine Centre is doing really well for their first year. They've programmed very cleverly.
The hubs last year attracted 57% of the 658,000 Fringe tickets sold. The big players say the market is nowhere near exhausted yet, but not all will survive.
Some will come up and some will go down. It's part of the business.
I think there would be and could be new entrants to market sometime soon. But I think we'll probably start to see natural attrition in terms of how big they can possibly grow.
Promoters point to Edinburgh Festival's continuing growth to highlight the bubble is nowhere near close to bursting, but the marketing may need to shift.
And that saturation point might be close for locals. Are we at that point for tourists? Absolutely not.
The Fringe closes in 2 weeks. Matthew Smith, ABC News, Adelaide.